Hi guys, hope you're all doing well. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a Transport Fever 2 episode. In this series I'm looking to do a semi-realistic outlay of the British Railway. So this map I have here is brilliant. It's the whole of the UK and Ireland. I'll link the person who has created the map. Sorry, who is it? Let's have a look. There, RWB FxUK. They created the map we're going to be using. I've done an awful lot of changes to the map, as you'll see, to suit the train lines I'm hoping to kind of copy. So if we jump into it, so this is the one I've started to do my adjustments, and I'm going to play with no costs. I'm going to play with sandbox and no end year date, purely because this is just to make it look pretty and do as much work as I can do without worrying about if we're going to make a profit, if we can continue on with the series. As you can see, you only start with 2 million as well, which is a very low amount. In the original you start in 1850. I've changed the date to the 1900s just to skip over some of the horse and cart and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into it. Right, so that and that. We're going to play on medium. It don't really make a difference when you've got no cost and sandbox on. It does take a while to load up this map. It's one of the largest maps you can get. There is quite a lot of water, so I'm hoping the performance won't be affected review of the map that I've created, and see what you think. Right, the game's paused. Alright, so first of all, you may have noticed that every single city or town requires only two types of goods, and they are both food and fuel everywhere. Now the reason for this is, for a map this size, I thought it'd just be easier to just have two different types and see how that goes. I'm mainly concentrating on passenger lines. I will chuck in the odd cargo train link and ferry link and things like that, but mainly looking at passenger at the moment. So what I want, so we've got, in the original map, London is a lot smaller. I've segregated it so it's north, south, west and east. I've also added Dover. Instead of Dover there's another city. I'm still working on this map, so we won't be playing it today. I'm still working on it. I've got to connect some of the towns together, but I'll just give you an overview of what I'm trying to achieve. So here I'm trying to mimic the North Sea oil rigs which we've got out in the North Sea of off the coast near Norwich. That's roughly where they are on the North Sea, and we also have one in the Irish Sea, just here, just above Liverpool. So they're the only oil sources I'll be able to use on the map. These refineries are somewhat accurate to what port the oil gets brought in through might be slightly wrong. This is all stuff I found online, but the connections are usually it comes in and goes to these ports here. There is other offshore rigs up north of just off the coast of Scotland as well, I believe, but I've only put these in. If we need to add more, it's simple enough. I've tried to make them look as inconspicuous as possible, like they are offshore riggers instead of placeables on land. So these are roughly where they should be, and also the actual the actual refineries to make fuel are also in a certain place, which I found online is part of a chain with the oil. So that's why I've put them in certain places, because I found a map and I just matched them up as best I can. Food, the farms I've just placed willy-nilly really. I've not really had too much thought, because there's farms all the way across the UK and farms everywhere in Ireland, so I haven't really pinpointed accurate places. What I have done is picked out places which would be towns or cities in. So where's an easy one to show? So these would be some city or town in the UK where I've roughly placed it where it would look like it would be from there. I have to go round and name them still, but they'd be in rough places. So hopefully this goes well, and because it's a massive map, I'm hoping my computer will survive the pressure of running it. There was also bridges going across to Ireland. Now I've removed them because I've put in Holyhead and Fishguard, and I also have put in Rosslare and Dunleary. So I'm going to have shipping routes from Britain to Ireland. I will also have a Holyhead to Belfast route, I'm hoping. I'm planning on trying to keep it as realistic as possible within the constraints of the game. There's not much I can do with certain aspects, but I'm looking to do the Caledonian Sleeper from Euston, which goes all the way up north and ends part of its journey in Edinburgh or Glasgow, I can't remember which one, and then it does continue on. I haven't added any stations up north of Scotland, but I could always add that in a later stage. That's why I've got sandbox mode enabled. But I want all these stations, so from London, so it'll be London, Milton Keynes, Rugby, Birmingham. So, and then it goes to Crewe, and then on to Liverpool, and then there's another Crewe line which goes to Warrington and up to Lancaster and all the way up to Glasgow, and then there's another line which goes to Stoke and I believe on to Manchester. There's then from King's Cross there's a route which goes Stevenage, Peterborough and all the way up this way, all the way past Newcastle, past Dunbar, and terminates at Edinburgh, which I would like to do as well. Scotland is very, very hilly. It is going to be a mammoth task to try and do some form of train route up in Scotland. That's why I'm concentrating on England and Wales, and I might do some in Ireland, but mainly concentrating on England and Wales. There is also a line I want to put in to go to Penzance, but I'm not sure. I'll research which ones, And then I'm also going to do a kind of coach service from London, Victoria, which will go to Fishguard, and it will also go to Holyhead, and they will be the only ways to access. I'll also have a train journey and a coach service if it will be feasible, and then across. I'm not sure if there's another port on the south of England which goes to Ireland. I'll have to research that. And obviously Dover's a very busy port for imports, and also going across to France. In Ireland, I believe these are, so Tralee's what the original map creator put in. I've added Marlow. Limerick was there, but Limerick Junction, I've added, I believe I added this town. Rosslare I added, Arklow I added, Dunleary I added. So quite a few additional cities have been added, but in the UK I did delete quite a few as well, so I tried to equal it out, so not to add too many because it will bottleneck the game. I don't think I added any up the north. I added Sligo, Carrick on the Shannon I added, Westport I added as well, just to give a bit more routes in Ireland to go. Most of them I believe come from Dublin and then like go down to Cork. There's very few that I could see in Northern Ireland. What did I add? I added Chester, London, Dudno, Bangor, Holyhead. That was already there. Fishguard I added. Swansea and Cardiff were there. Bristol I added. Yeah. I hope you like to look at these offshore oil rigs. It makes it a bit different. The only way we can get oil to the land is having ships coming back and forth, which I think is quite unique. And this one here, it looks a bit better than, or it looks a bit like it's meant to be offshore. Yeah, there's a few things I wanna, like, look how hilly it is. It's gonna be a nightmare to get these train tracks to look nice. But like I said, I've still got a bit of work to do on the map. Manchester. I did downsize a lot of the cities as well, because I was adding cities. I didn't want there to be too much too quickly, so Manchester, I believe I reduced it because it was target population, I think it was 300, so I've halved it. Liverpool 146. Warrington, I've only put that, I believe Warrington's a tiny station, and the only reason I've put Warrington in is because the old Virgin train service, which this route up to Glasgow, Liverpool, Manchester, Crewe, all this is a route that used to be run by Virgin trains. After Crewe, a line spurs off to Liverpool and also continues on to Warrington, and then at Warrington it continues on. The only reason Warrington's there is just for the split to make it look a bit nicer. So just before we enter the station, we'll be curving off into Liverpool. I've got to connect up all the towns and cities to each other, but I wanted to see how the game looked, how the map looked in game. I'll leave a link to the original creator of this map in the description, so that if you like it, you can download it for yourself, because it's a lot of detail went into it. As you can see, there's a hell of a lot of mountain terrain been created. I don't know if he used the accurate height map or not, but it is very... Wales and Scotland are very hilly, so they're quite accurate, and in Ireland's not so hilly, which is quite accurate as well. There's parts up the north which are, but the south of Ireland's quite not flat, but flatter than up the north. I'm going to just ease these with the smoothing tool as well. They're a bit too aggressive for my liking. But yeah, I'm going to have ships. I'll see what other shipping lines there might be from, like Belfast. I don't know if there's a Belfast to Scotland. Maybe it goes to Glasgow. I'm not sure about that part of the UK. But I know definitely there's a Fishguard to Rosslare, and there's a Holyhead to Dunleary. So we'll do them, and we'll try and keep the routes as accurate as we can. Obviously there is only so much in the scale. So there was about 9 major stations that I wanted to put in, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. So it's London Bridge, Euston, King's Cross, St Pancras. I'm going to do that as one station. Paddington, Victoria, Waterloo. I think that might be it. I think I might only put London Liverpool Street. I might put in, but I'm not sure what routes London Liverpool Streets run from here. I know they go out to Southend, but I'm not sure if they go up north or... I know there's definitely a route from King's Cross going to Newcastle, but yeah, they're the routes I'm looking to take. And if you want to leave a comment and say anything you might want me to change, or have any good ideas, just leave a comment and I'll reply to it. But yeah, here's a little overview of what I'm looking to do in this this little series that I'm going to start. But yeah, it'll probably be tomorrow I'll post another video of the actual start, when I've connected all the farms and the refineries and the towns together. But it does take a bit of time on a map this size. So yeah, I'm going to play test it a little bit as well, because I know I watch Skystorm, and he had an issue with his New York map, where after a certain amount of time the traffic and other game limitations came into effect. So I'm going to game test it, because London, having 4 small towns all close together, that might cause a lot of traffic. I've tried to add connections where I can, and bridges. I did try and put the Blackwall Tunnel in, but the river's too small, and I need the river to be wider for the tunnel to work, and it kept doing a collision, so I just ended up putting a bridge across. And I did want the whole of London pushed this way, but then it did look out of proportion to the rest of, because it is in the centre of Southend, Cambridge, Stevenage, Milton Keynes, Reading and Brighton. If you look on a map, it is quite accurate there. And obviously we'll have a fast train from Dover to King's Cross, which goes via Stratford. Yeah, so hopefully you like this video, and leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.